What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here. Today we're talking about some of my favorite chords ever, minor 11 chords. These are some chords that sound a lot harder than they are to play. In fact, I think these are actually way easier to play than your regular just kind of minor bar chords. There's no barring necessary. Everybody should know them. So make sure you click the link below because I'm going to tab out everything that we do here. And I think this is something that you might want to incorporate in your playing. It's really easy to do. It only takes you a couple minutes to check out. All right. So basically, let's talk about an A minor chord. This is one of the first chords you probably ever end up using. All right. Open A. 2D with your middle finger, 2G with your ring finger, 1B with your pointer finger. That's it right there. Now, if you just see a minor chord, whether it's A minor, B minor, E minor, whatever, those are called triads. That means they're made up of 3 different notes. Doesn't matter how many strings you play. You can play all 6 strings on an E minor. That's really only 3 different notes. For E minor, it would be E, G, and B. For A minor, it's A, C, and E. That stuff is great to know, but not even 100% necessary for what we're talking about today. Because you can make all sorts of extensions of those chords, like minor 7 chords, minor 9 chords, minor 11 chords, all right? All that was we're adding notes to the triad, all right? So technically, you might want to see this as like an add 11 or something like that, but we're going to turn this A minor chord into this A minor 11 chord, which again, I think is really a beautiful sounding chord, really easy to play, all right? So we're going to talk more about where you're going to play these, how to do that, but I'm just going to go over the chord voicing right now. So your middle finger is going to grab the 5th fret of the low E string. There's your root note. It's an A, which again, same as an open A, but these are going to be movable shapes, so eventually we're going to start moving them. Your ring finger is going to grab the 5th fret of the D string. Your pinky is going to grab the 5th fret of the G string. That right there is already an extension. It's called a minor 7 chord that you can move all over the place. But here's the kicker. Pointer finger, 3rd fret of the B string. Awesome. Love the sound of this. A minor 11, B minor 11. So real quick, what I mean by a movable shape is really you just learn a shape, a literal shape of your hand, this guy right here, slap it on any root note on the low E string, and whatever note this is a minor 11 chord. So the great thing is you learn one shape, but you learn 12 new chords because there's only 12 notes in the way we kind of classify music here. So we've got A minor 11, 1 fret higher, A sharp is the next note in the musical alphabet, or B flat, minor 11, 1 fret higher on the 7th fret, 7th fret, the E string is B. B minor 11. There's no B sharp, so C minor 11, C sharp minor 11, D minor 11, D sharp or E flat minor 11, E minor 11, F minor 11, F sharp, G. It goes on and on, right? So this really easy to play shape, I think, is something that you should really incorporate in your playing. Now, where might you want to use this shape, and how can you do it? Let's take a regular chord progression in the key of C or the key of A minor, something like that, where we have multiple minor chords. Something like C major to A minor to E minor to G. So here's our progression. C, A minor, E minor, now we can use these new minor 11 chords to kind of make this sound different, okay? So the second time around, I'm going to replace those regular minor triads with minor 11 chords. C, A minor, E minor, G. I said the second time. So the first time, C, A minor, E minor, G. Second time. So you can tell, like right there, that's kind of a different sound, but really it maintains the vibe of the song. I think it just adds a little bit something extra to it, if that's what you're going for. You don't have to use them all the time. I think sometimes it sounds really cool just to kind of mix it up. Like the first time around, maybe if it's just C major to A minor. So you can tell that there's a little bit more action going on, and it's really not that difficult. I think the spacing, even if you just try this for the first time, it might be easier than you even anticipate, because the way that I see this shape is it's very similar to a G major shape, as far as you're kind of leading with your middle finger, and then you have your ring finger and your pinky kind of bunched together, and then your pointer finger a little bit behind the rest of the inline nature of your hand. So it's really not that difficult to just move these up and then have your pointer finger back. G major, G minor 11. All right? And there's really something to just be able to say like, like if you're just jamming, and then your friends are like, oh, what's that? And be like, I'm just jamming on a B flat minor 11 chord. Instant street credit. So definitely something that you should do, right? Now, in a key, you can always replace any minor chord with this shape. We talked about replacing it with an A minor to an E minor, the 5th fret being the A minor, the 12th fret being the E minor. Now there's one more chord that we could add in a key, and that's the 2 chord in this key of C. That would be D. All right, so we have A, D, E. Now, no matter what key you're in, the interval, the spacing between these 3 chords is going to be exactly the same. Now, if you talk about numbering chords in a progression, again, if we're thinking in the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, we have 7 different notes. We can take the root note and turn that into a number. So when I play A minor 11 to D minor 11 to E minor 11 back to D, that's a 6, 2, 3, 2. 6, 2, 3, 2. Again, where that came from, the notes in the key that we're in, C, D, E, F, G, A. A is 6, A minor is the 6 chord, D, C, D is the 2 chord, E, C, D, E is the 3 chord. So, 6, 2, 3. Well, that becomes very helpful, is just being able to diagnose where you're at. Like if you ever see, let's do different ones right here. The 4th fret to the 6th fret, same shape. Now, by itself, you don't even have to know what the names of those chords are. This would be like an A flat or a G sharp minor 11 to B flat or A sharp minor 11. This is the 2 and 3 in any key, because those minor chords will always be found back to back. Kind of like what we did in the original example of A to D to E. There's always going to be the same distance. The distance between the 6 chord and the 2 chord is going to be the distance between 5 to 10. 5 frets, or 2.5 steps, as we would say musically. And then the distance between the next one is just 1 step. It's 2 frets. So right next to each other, which again is super valuable. You can throw these into any kind of chord progression. Let's say we're doing a chord progression in the same key that is not even using minor chords, like a C to G to F thing. C, G, F. Then there's some space there. In that space, we can put those chords. G, F. So all I'm doing there is in that space, I'm inserting chords that I know are going to fit, and I think it adds just a little bit something extra. So I think it's something that's really cool. Again, we're going to tab out exactly what we do here. It's just going to be 3 chords, but these are movable shapes. So again, the first chord is A minor 11, 5th fret on the E string, 5th fret on the D string, 5th fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the B string, down to D minor 11, 10 E, 10 D, 10 G, 8 B, to E minor 11, 12, 12, 12 on the E, D, and G strings, and then the 10th fret on the B string. Now, one thing to note, we're skipping the A string. The way I'm actually doing it is the bottom part of my middle finger, I'm holding down the root note with it, but I'm also muting the A string, so I can't hear it. Now, with the A minor 11, getting it open isn't going to be that big of a deal. But in something different, having that open A string ring out isn't something that you want. So just really get your middle finger down and touch it. If you hear a harmonic like that, that's fine. In the context of a bigger chord, that harmonic is not going to really bother you so much. Just some tips of really expanding your playing, learning different chords, making it fun, and then, like I said, anything that can kind of get you to pick up the instrument in a new, excited way is what we're all about here on Guitar Control. So make sure you click that link below. Make sure you check out the other videos by myself, other great guitar control instructors, and as always, importantly, let us know what you think in the description below for the comments to give us feedback on what you want to see more of, and we will hook you up. Thanks a lot.